Hey, good evening, Compelling Church. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. And tonight is our last night of going through the book Invitality. It's chapter 11, week 12. Our first week we didn't go through a chapter, so can you believe it? We're already at week 12. I'm so excited to be with you guys this evening for one more week, and it's been such a journey. I just want to thank you guys all for joining Compelling Church through this journey of Invitality and going through this book. It's just, for myself, it's just been such a journey, and I hope it's been such an amazing journey for you as well. Again, thank you so much for joining us every week, and we're catching up to the videos. If you're not joining, just taking your time out of your day to watch the video later on and let it just minister to you. I just want to thank you guys. I know God will bless you for your faithfulness to open your heart up to this message of Invitality. We have an awesome chapter left. It's almost like Pastor Adam saved the best for last. It's a great chapter. I'm super pumped to talk about it. But I just want to say welcome everyone who's joining us, and I just hope you guys are all having a great week. If you didn't know, Compelling Church is in the Des Moines area, and we are growing. The church is linking up with this message of Invitality, and we are just having hearts to invite people, and we are seeing changes in Compelling Church. So if you're not part of Compelling Church, but you're part of another church, this message is for you as well. This is a message for believers, anyone really, just to get linked up with a church, and then have that heart for Invitality, have the heart for the lost, the people out there who haven't heard the good word, and invite them into your life, invite them into the church, and invite them into Christ, and you will start to see testimonies. I've already had so many amazing testimonies since I've been doing these videos coming to me personally. I know people in Compelling Church, there's plenty of people in Compelling Church that also have had similar awesome testimonies of what this book is doing, what this message of Invitality is doing in their own personal lives, and how it's growing the church. And here at Compelling Church, we are seeing growth, and it's so awesome. It's so amazing to see all the new people that are coming, and new relationships and lives that are being changed. It's truly an awesome thing. And speaking of that, Compelling Church had another Koinonia night last night, and it was amazing. We have just been having amazing nights of Koinonia fellowship, and it was for Compelling Church. And for any church, it was a great opportunity, a great link in to invite people in. And we've just seen people feel more comfortable at these fellowship nights, and where we have food and fun, and it's great. And then it's kind of like a door to open up to inviting them to church on Sunday. But it's just been great. It's been, even for people who've been coming to church regularly, it was an amazing night and awesome food. So it's been really good. So I hope that you are experiencing also just how awesome this message of Invitality is. It's just, it's such a good message. If you allow it to, if you spend time reading this book, and if you open your heart to these messages and these videos, it will change your life. It will help you see people out there in a whole new light, and God will bless you for that. You will be blessed. It's amazing. So, all right, this week is Invitality Empowerment, and it's chapter 11, and it is the last chapter of this book, and it's been great. So this week, there are some really great things that this chapter talks about, but the biggest point that this chapter talks about is being empowered by the Holy Spirit to live a life of Invitality. And so it's just a really great chapter. Pastor Adam does such a good job of explaining the Holy Spirit, and how the Holy Spirit is a gift for believers, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but how it empowers you. And if you really have a heart for Invitality and wanting to invite, then he will empower you to do it. Again, I know I mentioned this in videos before, but you can take the pressure off yourself and put it on God and truly just allow him. If you're a willing vessel, he will use you. He will empower you with boldness to live in vitality. And a couple things he talks about in this chapter is that in vitality and boldness is not necessarily loudness, and that the Holy Spirit, and it's also not personality. It's not, I mean, God gifts us with certain gifts of personality, but it's not based on personality. If you allow, well, that's not my personality excuse, that can hinder you, that can hold you back from living that life of vitality. But the Holy Spirit is outside of personality. He can empower anyone. And actually, when I was reading this chapter, there's one person in my life that I see this happen regularly, and it's amazing. And really, it's my mother. And anybody who knows my mother, she is very quiet. If you were to say introverted or extroverted, she would probably be more labeled introverted. I would say wise, just poised, but very quiet. But man, when she gets talking about the Lord and the gospel and inviting people to church, there is a boldness inside of her that sometimes amazes me, because I'm more of an extroverted person, and it almost, the way she is so bold about it, it's almost like she sounds like an extrovert, or but that's just the Holy Spirit empowering her to step outside of her personality, her comfort zone, and live her life of invitality. And she has amazing stories. So what I really love about this chapter is that it encourages you, no matter where you're at in your faith. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a perfect Christian. Wherever you are in your faith, if you want to live in vitality, if you want to be out there and invite people to church and see lives change, the Holy Spirit can come upon you and empower you. And that was kind of leads me into what else Pastor Adam talks about in this chapter is a little bit, he touches on the Holy Spirit and how he empowers you. And the Holy Spirit comes inside of you when you invite Jesus into your heart and you receive salvation. The Holy Spirit comes inside you. But there's also, the Bible talks about being baptized in the Holy Spirit, where the Holy Spirit comes upon you. And you can find that in Acts 2. And you can find many incidences where the Holy Spirit came upon them and enabled them to, with boldness. Peter is an example where the Holy Spirit, Peter wasn't necessarily the most eloquently spoken preacher or anything, but the Holy Spirit, it says in the Bible that the Holy Spirit came upon him and enabled him, empowered him to give the first sermon that led over 3,000 people to Christ. So this is talked about in the New Testament, where the Holy Spirit comes upon them and enables them and empowers them, and it's a gift. And Pastor Adam in this last chapter does such a good job of explaining the Holy Spirit and how it is a gift. And I do really like this example that he gives about you already have the ability to invite people, but so it's like watering a garden. Like if you already have a hose and you're watering a garden, you're already able to water the garden. But let's say firefighters come down the road and they have a truck and they have the big hose and they hook up, and then they help you. You have like acres. Let's say you have acres. They're able to help you water the whole garden, right? So you already had the ability or capability to do it, but they just came along and helped you. And it's a gift. And that's like the Holy Spirit. You're already saved, you're a believer, you can live in vitality. But if you, invite the Holy Spirit and to receive baptism of the Holy Spirit, you can be enabled. It's a gift to water the whole garden with that firefighter hose and really step out in that boldness. And, this is just touching on the Holy Spirit and the baptism of the Holy Spirit just briefly. There's so many awesome scriptures in the Word that talk about this. And again, like I said, Pastor Adam does a great job of describing this and talking about this in this chapter. So I really highly encourage you to get this book and really dive deep into this subject, especially if it's unfamiliar with you, or you've seen weird things. Pastor Adam talks about that in this book too, and I've seen it too in my personal life, where some humans get off on the side a little bit, make the holy baptism of the Holy Spirit, and even speaking in tongues kind of weird. And it's not about that. If you read the scriptures, when you read the scriptures, it's not weird. It's straightforward, and it's the Holy Spirit moving. But sometimes humans take it a little bit too far. So if that is the case, I just encourage you to spend time in the Word, pray, and ask the Holy Spirit, or ask God to show you more scriptures and understand the baptism of the Holy Spirit more. Because it is a gift, and it will empower you to live this life in vitality, like on a whole other level. And I'm just really excited for you guys, wherever you're at in your journey. I really believe that this book is empowering you in general to live a life of vitality. But we're ending these videos with talking about the Holy Spirit and how He can really empower you to live a life of boldness and in vitality. And you will see lives change. It's so awesome to be used by God and just hear stories and testimonies of what He's doing in people's lives. It's just life-changing. It's energy. It's energetic. It's just life-giving just to see how good God is to anyone who will accept Him. So yeah, I just really encourage you to pick up this book. If you have not read this book, there's no condemnation, but it's a life changer, and I really highly encourage you to get it. It's Invitality. If you're in the local area, we have copies at church, so come by on Sunday and pick it up. And then also you can go to invitality.org and get you a copy that way as well. And it's just such a good book to get a hold of. So it's never too late. Compelling Church, if you're in the area and you have not read the book, your challenge this week is to pick the book up and read it. I guarantee you, once you get through the first chapter, you're not going to want to put it down. It's life-changing. So but that's not the only challenge. I challenge you, now that we're finished with this book, to just pray and spend time and ask the Lord to show you how to be bold about living in vitality, and just be sensitive to His leadings wherever you're at in your life. And get ready to have some testimonies, because you will see testimonies. Like I said, I've had multiple people message me and tell me simply just how these videos are changing their lives. I've seen people coming into Compelling Church that were invited by other members of Compelling Church and seeing their lives being changed. It's been an amazing journey, just watching this message of Invitality blossom, and just especially in Compelling Church. And it can for you and your church, wherever you're at as well. So that's all I have for you guys this week. I'm a little sad that this is it. I'm almost like want to keep talking because I don't want it to end, but I'm really glad and thankful for everybody who's joined me tonight, and anybody who ends up watching this later down. I just really hope that you have a great rest of your week, and that these videos have been blessing you as they have been blessing me. And until we see each other again, that's all I got for you guys. All right, go out there and live in vitality. Have a good evening, guys.